because of the way it tend to look down on all other parties or movement or whatever. Uh, if there's going to be a party that want to give a tendency of wanting to be a one party rule, it's going to hamper the stability of South Sudan. So I think still you members of SPLM, you have to look into the idea of democracy within the party. When these guys disagree during in 2013, it was not because Riek, Pagan, and Mama Nyandeng and all this wanted to grab power by force. It's a political twisting of the idea. The idea was to make SPLM adopt the elements of democracy within the party. But the SPLM, those who think maybe they have the upper hand with power, they kind of were not willing, that the direction of the party would go in a democratic way. As competition within party would lead to some people not seeing themselves as qualified. Also, SPLM has changed. The determining factor of the war was because I think Kir, with some members, they decided to bring NCP members into the party and eliminated those who saw themselves as real members of the SPLM. I think that was what caused the fight within SPLM. It's not because there were people who wanted power. Those who wanted power, they wanted it by changing rules within rule of conduct, the papers of the SPLM manifesto, so that there's a way for members to freely challenge themselves before the citizen. But that was not the case. So the more we have parties agree to electoral democracy, our country will be stable. But if there are those who want to control it by force, our problem is not done yet. Maybe up to there I can stop for now, or maybe the last thing I can throw in is what Juncker called the rule of Randit. The rule of Randit is kind of like go with the issue of seniority. South Sudanese are not willing to learn how government works, how democracy works. They don't want to focus on their own rights, that they can fight for their own rights. You will find them that even within party, they just want to give everything to one person with respect as the determining factor. That's going to affect us as the young people. If we don't look to how people govern, the right way of governing, and we just want to give power to have what do you call it in Dinka, Morngangnum. We don't want Morngangnum in South Sudan. You don't want to give power to one person just because you respect that person. Manon, I have deep respect with you. You have really fought to clean the name of SPLM in social media. I hope many of other people are learning from you, the way you argue the issues of SPLM. SPLM, I think, is owing you a lot of debt because the way you argue for SPLM is the way SPLM can survive, and I think that's great. Keep doing that. You guys are fighting for the future SPLM. For now, like you said, we just have to be cautious. I think it's the right way to look at it, but you need to look into the future and you have to speak up against certain factors that are being implemented within SPLM. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for being long. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Comrade Matthew. I just before we just continue with the line, I just want to ask Comrade Mayo, do you have any answer for the question of brother Matthew? I think Mayo is not there. Okay. I was actually engaged in something, but I just captured is SPLM is familiar with the hierarchy. within the leadership, which is a traditional of the SPLM leadership. I think that's one of the questions that I capture. And then the issue of democratization within the SPLM. I think, Brother Matthew, any organization survival is to adapt the new changes. In order to survive, it have to be capable to adapt. It has to be capable to restructure itself. It have to be able to revisit a direction and the vision and objective and goal. This is the way any institution, organization survive. And I think the SPLM, as the organization that is started in 1983, as a revolutionary movement, and then now it finds itself as a governing institution, and also need to transform itself from being a revolutionary party into a political party that actually have to work with civilian environment, where people have to criticize, where people have also to ask for the services that they promise to deliver. And I think the issue of hierarchy shouldn't be a case anymore at the moment, because if you see even in political bureau, the list that was circulated, which is for me is unofficial list. That's what I can say, because I will consider it as an official list when it's released by a stamp of the SPLM and heading paper of the SPLM party. That's where now I will say this is the final list. But the list that we have so far is unofficial list, could be proposal, could be recommendation. But I'm not objecting to the list, because South Sudan politics always is like that. Whatever you see as unofficial or whatever is leaked out as rumors, in the end it become an official. It become an official in the end. That's why I don't really make argument a lot about this. But I have seen some young people climb into political bureau recommendation lists. We are no longer going with hierarchy. Also, I have seen some senior SPLM members that their name is not there. They're also showing evidence that the SPLM is no longer going by hierarchy. So I think the issue of hierarchy will be eliminated when we allow it within the SPLM party democratic process within the party itself. And I believe the Arusha unification recommendation and the constitution that was amended, 2008 to 2016. Even the 35 members of political bureau, it came to amendment of 2016 Arusha unification of the SPLM. It would increase the membership of the SPLM from 27 into 35 members. So I believe that SPLM as an organization, in order to survive, it have to make some changes. It have to adapt new things in order for them to accept the challenges at the present time, which we are facing right now. It is SPLM that is not going to be only in a play field, because there's other political party in the country. And if the SPLM believe that multi-party as a way of governing a country, then we have any objection for the other South Sudanese who want to organize themselves as a political party and have a full space to exercise their right and their organization, as long as it's peacefully, equally to the SPLM. Because in the party system, there is no privilege special to particular party and other not. We are all equal as a South Sudanese citizen, and we are all equal in terms of appealing to our people, and we are all equal to respect whatever the decision made by the people of South Sudan in the outcome of any election and so on and so on. So I do see that issue of hierarchy is not going to continue to be the case, because now the SPLM now will go into face the new challenges. There's the new people that are going to be upgraded. There's the old people that are going to retire. Therefore, the issue of hierarchy should not be the case in the future. And I think that's what I can say in your question there. And issue of democratization is one. What I need to add here, to reiterate for those who just joined in, the see in October 20, when the resolution came out from Political Bureau, regarding the dismissal of Comrade Pagan, Comrade Riek Machar, they were actually dismissed based on Article 10. And Article 10 is Article of Membership. When you create a political party that out of a political party of the SPLM, or you contest against the nominee, you will lose your membership. I think those are the ground that was produced. And also for the formulation and procedures within the party, it was only recommendation within the SPLM Political Bureau meeting in October. But the kickoff today, SPLM National Liberation Council, which is kick off today conference in Juba, and we had 2 days from yesterday and today in our time here, but that time was yesterday too. Political Bureau was engaging in a very serious meeting almost for 2 days now. The members of elected member of Political Bureau, because in SPLM Constitution also, member of Political Bureau are elected, including the president within the convention. So even the list that is now being recommended or being proposed or being adopted by National Liberation Council, it means that is to fit the vacancies and also fill up the increase of the membership within the Political Bureau. But what I know, the Liberation Council will also pass the internal regulation of code of conduct of business of the SPLM, and also Liberation Council will pass a resolution on the date of the convention to be conducted. And also Liberation Council will make a decision also on when the congresses at the grassroots start from village to Payam to Buma, to village Buma, Payam, and county, and end up with the state congresses, Congress, and then the delegate to the National Convention, where the National Convention will endorse or will elect the Political Bureau members, elect the chairman of the party. And when the chairman of the party is elected, and including the deputy of the party, based on the SPLM constitution, whoever is elected as the chairman within the National Convention become the black bear of the SPLM candidate in the election, while the chair will have a full right to appoint or select whoever going to be a run mate for that chairman, whoever going to be elected in the convention. Those are the things that I need to for those who just join us and may not be aware about it. So there is also a convention that taking place today in South Sudan within the SPLM Liberation Council, and I think this convention may take 2 to 3 days. Is going to come out with a final resolution, and that's why we're going to see the final list of complete structure of the Political Bureau. And the same complete structure of Political Bureau will be a contest of nomination and election or contest during the National Convention that is going to take place. So it does not mean seeing people being put in Political Bureau. This is not the end of the process. The process have to end within the National Convention. And I see in the new faces, new people, which is mean that the hierarchy should not be issued in the long run within the SPLM party. And thank you. So let us move the line to Comrade Mark. I see Trabi, you blinking. 1 minute, please.
Okay, thank you, Comrade Manon. I'm just on to interject one thing because I seen two people talking about it that mentioned it. One thing that I'm trying to interject into it is that those two people said that we, the South Sudanese in diaspora, it seemed like we have not done our part. I will say that that is incorrect. We in diaspora, we have done a lot. And that's why people like us are here today and always in Clubhouse to respond to some allegations. We have done a lot. And I made an example earlier by mentioning Brother Madid, the very person that opened this room, for what he have done. We have done a lot. We in diaspora, we are not sleeping. We are working with our people on the ground, and all our help goes to them. So the reason why some of us blame the government is because the government itself is not doing what it's supposed to do. So for those of you who have doubt that we have not, especially Matek mentioned that we have not done our part, that is incorrect, my brother. We have done our part. Most of us here and each and every person from South Sudanese in diaspora, wherever they are doing the most that they are not supposed to do. And that's the only interjection that I want to make. Thank you, Comrade Manon, and go ahead and move the line.
Thank you. I appreciate your interjection. And because the line still have a lot of people, I will just move the line. Matukto, do you have something to say?
1 minute, Mark,
Yes, go ahead then. 1 minute, please. No problem.
I need to say something here. Probably you did not hear me. If I talk about people outside here, I'm one of the people outside too. But I'm saying we blame the government. Lakin nina nasal ma akuma del motanin kulo. It doesn't matter inta fi bara or inta fi Sudan. I'm generalize all the civilian. What we need to do, we did not do our part. We did not come together and unite ourselves than the government. So how the government come and unite us? And we don't have a unity among ourselves. That is what I'm saying. But I did not mention the people outside. I'm a white man outside. I'm not America. So if there is nothing did by people outside, I will be the one. So I'm not gonna say this. But I need to add something here. First, I need to leave this question, special Matthew. Who make Kir to remove and appointing people in the government there? The power. Another thing also, when I ask people why Kir keep removing people off from the SPLA, people say the people that is against SPLA. It's not because it's a party or whatever you in, but you are against the SPLA. How you become SPLA again and you are against SPLA? If you were not against SPLA, you should not be somebody else outside and talk the government is not good, but this is government now is running by the SPLA. So which is called is your government. Why you be against with that government? And you call yourself as SPLA. That is why what I hear is saying, now we say, oh, okay, if it is this one, I'm going to remove them. But Thomas Cirillo and Paul Malong, they will not be there. Even the lead you will see tomorrow, they're not going to be there because they again is SPLA. So nothing can bring them there to the SPLA. And then a question, let us see who give Kir a power to remove people and pointing people if he cannot remove people off from the SPLA. And if not, Nagal, Kir have no power to remove anybody from the SPLA. Okay, why Kir have a power to remove people and appointing people right now? Thank you. Mark, go ahead.
Thank you. Mark, before you go, I think Matetek remind me the question also that I did not capture it, asked by Matthew. Matthew was asking earlier who owned the SPLM. I think there's two things here, Brother Matthew. There is an SPLM era from 1983 and ending in 2005 when the SPLM became a government. And then it transformed itself from military wing and political wing in the bush to become a governing party. Therefore, when we come to contribution of 1983 until 2005, everybody who actually participate militarily or politically have privilege of historical contribution in the SPLM. Nobody can take away that, whether it's positive or negative. You, as an individual, you own that history, and nobody can take it away from you, whether it's negative or positive, as I put it. But the SPLM of 2005 to present, including the SPLA, which is actually after 2005, should have transformed itself as a national military of Republic of South Sudan and should not associate themselves with SPLM as a political party, because in the code of conduct of constitution, they are there to protect the national interests and territory of the South Sudan. They are not protecting the party, nor protecting individual. And that should have been the SPLM white paper that they talk about it. when Comrade Nyal was appointed as a minister of defense. I remember there is a white paper of the SPLA, and white paper of the SPLA actually was meant to transform the SPLM from the guerrilla military, one party, to become a national army in the country that should not associate themselves with any political activities in the country, nor political party in the country, including the SPLM wing, because they become a political party. This what actually should happen. Coming to the SPLM itself, from 2005, it transformed itself to become a political party, and if it become a political party, it's open to the whole Sudanese, because by that time the country was not divided. Should be open to the whole Sudanese citizen to join as a citizen, as a civilian, and participate in politics. And then they own the SPLM as a members. But when you leave the party for any reason, based on internal regulation of constitution of the SPLM, as the Article 10 lists them, then you lose the membership based on that. So people like, for example, like Pagan, Amum, like Riek, Machar, like any other members of the SPLM, who may decide to leave the SPLM as a party and form their own organization, or people like Lama Call who formed the DC, for example. Those people, historically, they are veterans of the SPLM from 1983 to 2005. But after that, if they leave the organization of the SPLM and form their own organization, it does not take away their historical background of their contribution. It's still there. Nobody will take away from them. They own it. But when it comes to organization, when you left, including Salva Kiir himself, if he left today the SPLM or violate the SPLM as a party, he can be expelled. And he's no longer, even though he's one of the founder of the SPLM, it does not give him privilege to violate the constitution of the SPLM as a party. Because SPLM as a party here is an organization that have a law and have a regulation as a political party that needs to transform itself. So I think that's the two things that we need to separate. Those are the two things that we need to separate. And I think that's why even Comrade Pagan Amum, when he was interviewed after his removal or after he's proposed to be dismissed within the SPLM, he downplayed a lot. He downplayed in the way that saying that this thing should have been done by National Liberation Council, not the political bureau, which is absolutely, he was right on that. The political bureau in October 20 recommend to National Liberation Council dismissal of two Comrade Pagan and Comrade Machar, for the reason that they mentioned that they form different political party, and therefore they based on Article 10, they being dismissed. And tomorrow or today, which is today in South Sudan now, when the National Liberation Council kick off today with the conference, one of the items that going to be submitted to them, including the internal regulation to be a pass, is the issue of recommendation of political bureau to remove Pagan Amum and Kabaryak Machar from the political, and those are the right procedures. Those are the right procedures, and after that, when they approve it, and then the national convention also will be the final approval for their removal, and those are the procedures that within the party role regulation have to be followed. So I think I didn't answer you early, but this is what I can say based on what you asked, who owned the SPLM, and that's why I said SPLM it have 1983 to 2005 is owned by SPLM veterans and SPLM liberators members within the bush, and from 2005 to present now, SPLM become an organization that is open to the whole South Sudanese and have its own internal law and regulation. And if you violate it, you will be dismissed like anybody else, including President Kiir can be dismissed. And thank you. Let me move the line to
Mark, yeah.
To Mark. Brother Mark, sorry for the waiting for long.
Yeah, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are. It is a great opportunity for me to be able to contribute to this topic. So, shukran, Brother Madit, for allowing me to participate here. First of all, I will address the topic, and it has to do with Pagan, Riek, and General Paul Malong and General Thomas Cirillo not having made the list of the SPLM Political Bureau. And my take is that they need not to, honestly. First of all, General Paul and General Thomas are soldiers, and until they retire officially from their military role, whether it's conventional military or their military role leading a liberation movement right now, that they cannot participate in political processes. General, or sorry, Secretary General Pagana Mom and Vice President Riek Machar have not been participating in SPLM activities for the last little while. And so it's only fair to SPLM that they are allowed and given an opportunity to reorganize themselves and present uh, their organization to the people of South Sudan. I think that is within their right as a party, as SPLM. So to that extent, I do not have any problem. Uh, Brother Matthew had highlighted, and I think Brother Manon too highlighted that SPLM has come through phases. You know, there was a liberation phase that ran between 1983 to 2005. And that is the phase, that is the SPLM that a lot of people recognize. Some of us who were born during that era, who were born into SPLM, we always knew that, I was born SPLM. And I knew that SPLM was South Sudan. That era actually stopped in 2005. And our citizens are a little bit slower to realizing the fact that SPLM as a liberation movement that we knew died in 2005, died in a plane crash. Done. It is no longer there. So some citizens are still supporting this SPLM party right now based on historical affinity. And that affinity should never be there because these leaders have moved on. Now they are at a phase where they have transformed SPLM to become a member-based and interest-based party of people who just want to do whatever they want to do for the citizens and not accountable to anybody. So I think my point here is SPLM must be allowed to reorganize itself as it sees fit. But we as the citizens must highlight the failure of this regime since 2005. I think it is only fair that we citizens are allowed to do that. Because I heard some brothers saying before that we citizens have not been doing our part. It is not correct. We citizens have been trying to highlight the failure. Anna Mark Arwaikide, there is nothing I can do other than highlighting where the government is going wrong. What can I do about the border that has not been demarcated for the last 17 years? What can I do about human displacement? The people who have been displaced by floods, people who have been displaced by militias, some of them militias are sponsored by the government. What can I do about the thousands of people who have been displaced in the Unity State by militias supported by Nasturkel? What can I do about that? What can I do about, the economic hardship, the rampant corruption, the lack of infrastructure, of lack of health facilities, of education, the breakdown of social fabric? What can I do about that? What can I do about resources just being looted and being given to, foreign um, business partners and concubines and in-laws? What can I do about that? And what can you also do about that as a South Sudanese? normal citizen other than just highlighting it. So we have to be fair to ourselves as citizens. We cannot turn ourselves, we are the victims of this regime, and we cannot turn around and blame ourselves. This is how abuse is perpetuated when the victim believes that they are the problem. We are not the problem. We citizens of South Sudan, we are not the problem. The problem is our government. The problem is that we do not demand answers from our government. Now, moving forward, and since SPLM, I will give them the right to reorganize themselves. I also want to ask the same of the SPLM led government right now to accord other political formations the same right. I do not belong to the SPLM party. I am going to be a member of the newfound political party that is called NDA, a political party that has not been registered to date because the government has not opened the political parties council office. They have not paid the rent, and now they are taking people on a ride. Today, the UN representative made a comment that the government of South Sudan is lagging behind. They have actually they have missed the strategic deadlines to do certain things in order to fulfill the requirement of this peace agreement. And this is the peace agreement that has actually given this government the legitimacy that it currently enjoys. They have not constituted the political parties council. They have not constituted the constitutional review committee or the constitutional drafting committee. These are the deadlines that we as citizens have to be reminding our government. Please implement this agreement. Make sure that you do what you are supposed to do by these deadlines so that our country can 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 move, transition from war to peace. So I beg you, members of the SPLM, I did not come here to debate with you. I'm here to tell you that I give you the right to reorganize yourself. You can put whoever you want into your political parties or sort of political bureau. I don't care who you put in there, but allow other members or other citizens of the Republic of South Sudan to organize themselves to be able to form their own political bureau, to be able to register their political parties and function within the law. But this idea of organizing yourself and then making sure that nobody else organizes itself and frustrating these people, this is what leads people into violent means. And South Sudanese are tired of violence. So I will end there. I hope you have a good weekend coming up, and yeah, thank you for the opportunity to participate again. Thanks.
Thank you. I don't know who have time here to follow up with this list, Deng or Trabi. I want to give someone to follow up with the list because I have something here for just 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Trabi.
Yeah, give it to Travi. Give it to him. I haven't
Trabi, if you
spoken
are,
yet.
can you follow up with the list because I just want to excuse myself for a few minutes. I think the line is going to Comrade Angelo, and then it will follow. The list is
Now the line is going to Comrade Concord. Then Angelo will come.
Okay, that's fine then. Good that you follow up this. That's what I saw in my list. Maybe I need to refresh my list here. Okay, Concord, are you there?
Don't forget, you guys give me a green and you skip me up there.
I know, yeah.
We are not skipping you.
Yeah,
but you said
let two people go ahead of me. Then when I'm ready, I'll let you know, Travi.
No problem.
No, the commission. You said you didn't want to speak. That's why we jumped you. I know you before I couldn't Concord.
No, I didn't open my mic. I'm sorry. I don't know who said that. I haven't opened my mic since I came here.
Okay, my apology.
Concord, is your turn.
Yeah, Guy, can you give my chance to one of the speaker there? Then if I'm ready later on, I will
flash my mic. Thank you. I'm at work now.
Okay, that's good. Comrade Angelo,
I-
Brother
I'm gonna
Matthew.
I'm gonna go down. Okay. I think I'm done. Thank you. I will listen.
Okay, Matthew. Okay, thank you. Uh, Comrade Angelo.
Yes, thank you. I have a pleasure to give my chance now to Comrade Denkamis, and then I will come after him. Please, Denkamis, have the mic.
No, I'm good. Angelo, I'm good. I need more time. Two of you can go ahead, and when I'm ready, I will let the moderators know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Denkamis. Thank you, Comrade Manon, Trabi, and Madit, for opening this forum. And I also want to give thanks and greetings to all the audience down there and the people in this podium. Uh, I'm not going to take much time because the topic is straightforward. Is that Riek, Dr. Riek Machar, Comrade Gerald Pagana Mom, Gerald Paul Malongawan, and Gerald Thomas Cirillo didn't make SPLM political bureau. We saw the list today, and I saw the list today, and I went over the list, and actually I called some people back in Juba, and and I was not surprised that those four names didn't make the list, because as we know, Dr. Riek Machar has his own party called SPLM-IO. Comrade Pagana Mom, Gerald Pagana Mom, has his own party called Real SPLM. Gerald Paul Malonga and the King Paul has his own party called SSUF. And also, Gerald Thomas Cirillo has his own party called NAS, or National Salvation Army. So these people, there is no way for them to be in that list. Secondly, they are outside of the country and they are actually negotiating now with the government because they are whole out groups, and so they are to negotiate with the government and to go back to Juba. So I don't think there is any surprise uh, for their name to be not to be in the list. I saw the list and I talked to a lot of people today, and some people actually they they are not happy with the list, and some people are happy with the list. And actually, uh, for my own opinion, actually, I'm happy with the list because to build a strong organization, you need new faces all the time. You need people that will be able to move the party forward. And and I also disagree with people that say that is this is just a line. Uh, uh, the introduction of the list today proved that the SPLM move away from hierarchy base to activities base, and who they think can actually promote or advance the organization towards their election coming up 2 years from now. Uh, I also know that the list is not official yet, because the meeting today uh, from from uh, from the SPLM members, they actually will endorse. We'll see who they will endorse as a political bureau member, or who they will not, or maybe they will endorse all of them. It depends on the outcome for today. So that's what I know. I know it's not official yet. It's not a final list. But by the end of the day or tomorrow, we will know who made it to the final, or whether all of them made it to the final. And actually, I'm happy with this nomination, and I hope the other parties will do the same. This what I need to know, what I need to let people know also. This the way SPLM conducts is itself. It's not actually different from other parties of South Sudan. All the other parties, they follow the same SPLM hierarchy. And therefore, I don't see anything that other party can actually complain about SPLM or condemn SPLM about it, because it's the same. The SPLM IO is actually doing the same, the other parties too. So I'm not going to talk too much, because a lot of people already presented a lot of points, and all I can say is that those names should not be there, or we have not seen their names there, because they already have their parties, and then I will stop from here. You guys can go ahead. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Angelo. What for those who are members of the SPLM who may not be familiar with the amended 2016, I think the amended 2016 is very clear that actually the member of National Liberation Council actually in Article 17, which is establishment and composition of the party, it's very clear that the member of National Liberation Council actually are elected within the convention. If you go to Article 17, establishment and function, you may find in D, even the chairman, the deputy chair, the secretary general, all these things within the structure of the Liberation Council, and then the youth and veterans and the women are being represented, including the minorities, what they call disadvantaged members, also are being also present. If you go to Article 18, also the function and duties of the National Liberation Council, National Liberation Council also is responsible to elect the political bureau and the secretary general and his or her deputies through the what they call the direct or a secret ballot, including the chairman also is elected by the Liberation Council. So here, Liberation Council here become the organ, because we have Liberation Council even the level of the Buma village, Buma, Payam County. They have their own Liberation Caucus, Liberation Congresses, and then they delegate until they get to the county, to the state. And then the state now, they also have to delegate the National Liberation Council based on composition to Juba, which is the National Convention, where they are also going to be elected within the delegate that went there, and then now they will co-compose the National Liberation Council, and then the National Liberation Council will structure itself, and then at the same time there will be the authority that elected the chairperson within the party and his two deputies within the party and secretary general within the party. So that's why most of the people should not actually look in this list that actually coming out, which is unofficial yet. The list is just to feed in the structure of the SPLM. But national convention, which is the Congress have to be conducted from the grassroots to the top, finalized with national convention. These procedures based on SPLM constitution and those process will be followed. And that's why the conference of National Liberation Council in Juba, which is start today, is going to come out with some resolution of how the SPLM going to start conducting congresses starting from village to state level and then end up with the national convention. Therefore, even filling out those members that come out now, fill out as recommended by political bureau to just fill the structure of the SPLM does not mean this is the end of the process based on the SPLM constitution. There will be a final process, which is the SPLM convention, which is actually will go to those process. Everybody have to be elected. Start from National Liberation Council, to start from the chairperson of the SPLM or chair lady of the SPLM, and then also the political bureau members also, they're going to be voting in. So this is something that I need to also to reiterate it for those members of the SPLM who may not be familiar with the process, how the process are done. So some people may say appointing of 35 will be the final process, but I don't think so. Based on constitution of the SPLM, the 35 members of political bureau have to go to procedures of the election through the national convention, and the current national liberation council will be dissolved in order for them to go to the grassroots and start from village to Buma Liberation Council or Buma congresses, and then to Payam congresses, and then end up with the county congresses, and then to state congresses, which is actually they will select also the Liberation Council at the state level and chairperson at the state level, and then the delegate that going to national level. Those are people also going to elect the political bureau and the chairman of the SPLM and 2 deputies and secretary general. This is the only thing that I need to explain for those people who may not be familiar with the SPLM constitutional mandate. And thank you. Line, Comrade Trabi.
Yeah, Timothy, the chance is yours. Open your mic.
Thank you, Trabi. And thank you, Brother Manon. We've been in couple rooms. We've been discussing all that. And thank you, Matektek. If I pronounce your name wrong, sorry, but it seems like Matektek, Brother Madit, Ding, and then First Lady. And those who are up there, thank you so much. Those who are down, appreciate your time that you put to discuss this topic. It is a great topic, and thank you so much. One thing, based on the topic, I can see it there, and I'll read it. Riek, Pagan, Paul, Thomas didn't make to SPLM political bureau. To be honest, this is my opinion, and it is my own. The decision that President made was no wrong decision. I'm not siding with him. I remember the good thing, Brother Manon, even in so many room with me. I'm not SPLM. I'm not IO. I'm not none of the above.
I just need to correct, Brother Tim Todd. I want to correct you. I don't want to interrupt you. The decision that was made on October 20 was not the president making decision. It was a political bureau meeting. That's the correct way. Political bureau is the one who make recommendation of remove of Comrade Pagan and Comrade Machar. That's the only thing that I need to correct. Because when you say president, it's like a chairman of the party come out and make a decision. But this was the political bureau who make the recommendation within the October 20 meeting. Thank you.
Okay, I understand. Well, thank you, Brother Manon. It is being made by certain institution within the government. but the decision is being made by the president. That's why I said the president. Why? Any institution will come up with the ideology, idea or ideology, how they look at the things, and they will recommend it, give it the president. Then president is the one who have a final decision to make it. So can you help me on this? Whether we are corrected here, because I don't want to talk while you actually question me. So,
Brother Tim Dot, the topic is up there. So I don't see any need for you to even ask Comrade Manon for that questions. The topic is up there, and when you came in, you heard those who spoke before you. So I would consider to at least follow with the topic itself. And I know that's why you came up. So get to the topic and say what you think and what you know. That's why the room was open. Okay? So go to the topic, Tim Dot.
Trabi, I'm with the topic. It says Riek Machar, Pagan Amum, Paul Thomas didn't make it to SPLM political bureau. The reason they couldn't make it based on that, I'm answering the question now. They couldn't make it based on the decision that were taken by that organization, that they should not be part of it. If they're not part of it, who is the final decision to make it? Is it not the president? To be honest, that's the last question. And Brother Manon involved and helped me on this. Who's the final there?
Brother Tim Dot, you came up to tell your ideas and how you look at how this thing happened to the people of South Sudan, not Comrade Manon, not myself, not any person that I have spoken earlier. Your speech should be directed to the people who are listening to you. So stop asking a person like Comrade Manon. Your opinion is what is needed in this stage. So what do you have to tell to the people of South Sudan? That is what is needed. That's it.
Okay. My opinion, as I just said it, and just let me go with that. President Kiir make a good decision that he sacked them because it is his right as the head of the state. Number one. Number two, SPLM, SPLA have their own party. At any time, they can sack anyone. So, of which I know that where maybe I mess up, but yeah, SPLM, SPLA, they have their decision within their own party at any time. Even President Kiir himself, if SPLM sit down and say, hey, we don't want you, he will go. So it's simple, he will go. Thirdly, the division that going. I heard something earlier from our brothers that SPLM Real, SPLM IO, SPLM SPLM, and all this is the same as SPLM. And that's the reason I was stuck with the first question, asking a right direction and to have a good answers. Why? It's the same as SPLM. We split to SPLM IO, SPLM, SPLM Real, SPLM, SPLM, and SPLM DC. So I'm not sure. This is the question I will leave to you, my people, because it is really, we have to speak our mind. our problem in South Sudan, to add my own comment. I was just putting my whatever I was saying based on the question, but now it's my opinion. Our problem is how we ask each other. And I will finish it with this. And before I finish it, last night I was in the room. In that room, I was given 5 seconds that is speak. What would you say in 5 seconds? Nothing. But I was patient. At the end, 5 seconds finished, I stopped. That was it. If that's the case, then our problem in South Sudan is sometimes we don't give ourselves time to discuss issues. I'm not talking about this room that give me 20 minutes. No. But time, like leaders, give yourself time. Let's talk. Let's negotiate. Let's see what's going on. I'm talking about leaders, not in this room. In this room, should be a time limit. 5, 3, 10, that's okay. But in that time, there's no time. They can talk hours to negotiate and finish. Now you have the name that I mentioned. The only in South Sudan now, SPLM DC, yes, some of them are there, but you have a Gulak. If you come to IO, they are there, some is still out. If you come to those who talk, whom President Kiir removed, where are they? Only Riek Machar in Juba. Where's Pagan Amum? Where's who? Why not President Kiir removed all this? He have to. There's a political bureau based on the SPLM constitution that those, regardless of situation, even myself, I'll be removed. Do we have to really to be naive on this? No. That thing should not, we should, I shouldn't even really be talking about it, because that thing is something as a party. It is not all South Sudanese parties. No. It's only SPLM with their rule. Whatever, and I don't even go to IO. I rather go to I'm not even sure there's other parties that I could mention, but all this is start with S. I don't want to go with them. The reason is the same as SPLM who divide. Okay, if I talk now, SPLM, where am I going here? I rather talk about something that I know there is a party of which my brother, you can mention me there. If that's the case, then it will be okay. So I will stop there. But the reality, another party. But all we have now is all this. Thank you. I will stop there.
Okay, Brother Timothy, yeah, I think you have sent your message, but at the same time, you haven't spoken on the topic. That's good. Can you mute yourself because you're done?
Give me a second. Something is going on with my telephone. I don't know.
Okay, I will mute you then.
Yeah, mute me. That's okay.
Okay. Okay. We will move the line. Brother Denkamis and
Just
Concord.
let me try to answer, give him a comment for 1 minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Brother Tim Todd, I think when you say the SPLM, really SPLM, the IO are the same coin. Tim Todd, the same coin, the same coin in different phase anyway. I totally kind of understanding your narrative and your comment. Yes, they are the members of the SPLM of 1983 until 2005. All of them. Nobody will deny that. But there's something that our people, even the war that we have, the Sun war that we have, the Sunless war that we have in 2013, shouldn't happen at all. Because the problem with Jinubin, they don't organize. Then when SPLM itself fought the war in one goal, in one objective, but If you go to reality, the SPLM was composed of different political ideologies. There were members of SANU, there were members of Jabha Junub, there were members of communists, there were people who actually have no political party affiliation. And that is the reality. There were even a separatist. There were a nationalist within the SPLM. But for the purpose of the unity of the purpose and for the purpose of objective and the goal to achieve the same aspiration for the new Sudan, which will from Numali to the Alpha, or the aspiration of new Sudan that will start from Rang to Numali, okay, or from Rang to Raja, or from Raja to Numali, from BA to Numali. This what was brought us together as a one group. But after the CPA, especially after independence, a normal procedures for any group that actually dissatisfy the way the things are running the SPLM to excuse themselves and form a political party totally with a different ideology, different objective, different goal, and different name, and they can still compete within the country. This is exactly what happened in any historical parties, whether in United States, if you go, United States in the beginning was one party. But there's something that divided them to become a Republican and Democrat. And they still coexist until today. I think that's the point that we miss South Sudanese. Everything have to be an SPLM. But no one have a courage, have an idea that actually create his own model, his own in a very peaceful manner, without violence, without involving any violence at all. And it can still develop, and people of South Sudan can still buying a product if they show their product different from others, because it's a market, it's a political market. That's why we have multi-parties. That's why we have different parties. They have to sell their ideas, they have to sell their products, and people have to buy it through the ballot box. That's the way it is. So I do agree with you. You can still saying that they are the same coin. They are the same coin because of their what I can say, of their of their own circumstances, that they kind of like an SPLM idea. No one, even if you're not satisfied within the way the things are going, you don't want to create your own model. And this is the one of the problem for our political leaders. They have to have a courage. They have to have a courage that after the liberation, we all own the SPLM historical credit. What is left now is how to govern the South Sudan. And governing the South Sudan is not necessarily about the name of the SPLM. It's about an idea and what you can offer and what you can deliver for the people of South Sudan. And I think you can still develop the party that can compete with SPLM. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Comrade Brother Manon. Denkamis and Concord, are you guys ready before I move the line to Brother Lion? Okay, Brother Lion, if you are ready, the chance is yours. Go ahead and open your mic. And the topic is up there. You see, we South Sudanese sometimes we fail to at least focus on a topic. Because when a person bring up the topic, that's the topic we're supposed to speak on it. That's the directions. And then you can add other things on it, at least after you speak on it. So, Brother Lion, if you can hear me, open your mic and take it up from there. Okay, Lion doesn't hear me. Okay, Molana, good.
I'm around, huh? Sorry. I was trying to open my mic.
Okay.
Something sorry.
Okay,
okay.
The chance is yours. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to greet all of you, all the moderators, Madit, Comrade Manon, Trabi, First Lady Denkamis, and my colleague in the panel, good leader Mark and Concoch, and a good, and those listening down there. I like the name Concoch over there. The way he he brought up the idea of calling himself Concoch. Well, with regard to the topic, I hope my brother Trabi was not preparing my way to comment and try to reprimand or try to talk to make those few remarks before I speak. Actually, for me, but hopefully addressing the rest of the audience. Because I am not yet open my mouth and wait for me to speak. Uh, your topic, the topic up here. So I thank South Sudan Eagle Media and the topic which say Riek, Pagan, Paul, which is Paul Malong and Thomas didn't make it to the SPLM political bureau. And I heard from Manon, this is to gauge a public opinion, probably for those who actually circulated the list, because I saw the list. And I heard the list yesterday. It's when I heard the list and someone say he's going to send it to me, but he didn't send it to me. Until this morning when I wake up, I found it in one of the room that I am one of them online, especially in WhatsApp. And I think it is circulating in every group, including the Facebook. I am really very happy for the some of you comment that some of the speakers have talked earlier, especially Manon, mentioning after liberation, after the peace agreement was signed in 2005, and from 2005 to the moment, the SPLM that we have is different SPLM. This is very good for public consumption, and it is good for the citizens of South Sudan to know. Even those who participated in liberation struggle must know that it is the SPLM is no longer the same. Sudan, SPLM says Sudan will never be the same again. Nor shall South Sudan in some political parties, including the SPLM itself. There is also another group that you forgot. The members who fought, initiated, they fought as foot soldiers. They never been having a high profile, but they have a high profile on the front line. Plus, those people, they are no longer. They should know that the SPLM is not the same SPLM since 2005, but it was not spoken out. The same thing. There was SPLM between 2005 to the 2013. There's different SPLM too, different phase of the SPLM, where some people were clinging to the SPLM to honor the vision and program and the mission that millions of people give up their lives and properties. There is also an SPLM from the time when the conflict erupted in Juba within the SPLM party because of issue of democracy within the party. There are some members also up to now that are still there, and the people who fought during liberation struggle, and the people, and I mean the fighting, even whether you are in London or in America or in everywhere in South Sudan or in Sudan, you've been supporting the mission, the right of self-determination or the new Sudan. These members are still clinging there also. And today or in a week from now, when that list is final, and when the National Convention is going to be sitting and approved, because the National Convention, sorry, National Liberation Council is like the voting. They are the people who actually vote for this. They help the president to create a list. So there is an opinion you have heard from David Amor when he spoke here about the removal of Pagan and those of Riek Machar before, that it's not supposed to be the work of president. So he is a member of SPLM, he's a member of National Liberation Council. And I agree with him when he was speaking, because I'm aware of that. So, so the removal, or actually not the removal yet, the leaving out of this name, Dr. Machar, General Pagan, and General Paul, in terms of liberation struggle, they were there from the very beginning. Sorry, it's Pagan and Paul were there from 1983. Dr. Machar joined later on in 85 or 86. And then Thomas Cirillo joined in 1992. That is for the movement there when we are talking about the historical movement. And I'm very happy that we know there is difference between the SPLM now and the movement. Those people who were during the movement, who support SPLM during the movement, or people who had that membership, a green membership before, or the membership that was given before 2013, that should be a history. You can put it in the archive. This is
Bandit,
when you
Bandit
were for
Lion,
the.
Bandit Lion, you have 1 minute to wrap up if you can.
Okay, no problem. So the SPLM, I consider it as a people movement. It's history of the people of South Sudan. And actually, no one was told to leave and fight and join the SPLM. But although they were from different political parties, so I want to, the point I'm driving home there is the fact that their history, whether bad or good, will still remain in the book and will be read by students or people all over the country or worldwide. With the current changes that is happening within the SPLM right now to prepare for election, I think whether decided by president, decided by political bureau, or any powerful person there, or members of national liberation struggle, is the right course. But my last statement to South Sudanese is the fact that we need to educate our citizens because they don't know their right. They don't know their right, and they need to be educated about what we're talking about right now, so that when they make their choice in a ballot paper, they will know which party they will be voting for. They will know the SPLM that is current now, whether real or IO or IG, are not the original SPLM. We will need to go out and tell them that there is no original SPLM right now. It is the making of the current parties that is currently. And then we can make it like what is happening in Kenya. Ruto become a president. He's not the son of a president, a founding president. He's not a son of Odinga, neither a son of Jomo Kenyatta. But right now, he's a son of an ordinary person from had his own political party, and that political party actually won the election with a landslide in Kenya. So with that being said, let South Sudanese know that they're not worry and panic that about what is happening right now. It is just in a public space. That's why we came. There are other political parties like the Red Army Band political party, the NDA that was mentioned. Is there. When they register, they will go out for you there. And then they can select the best of the best
Lion,
and select.
your 1 minute up.
And they can be like the Ruto party. So I yield back from there. It's just South Sudanese to know that it's no problem. It is the right of the SPLM. The current SPLM IG, they have a right to select those. As long as they represent the constituencies, that will be another thing because they will not have power in other constituencies. And I think that's why those of Manon came up with this, so that they can also hear something that they will need to do as the members of the SPLM. Thank you so much.
Comrade, if I might be given like 30 seconds.
Good leader.
I have already spoken. There was a question that was directed to me.
Hold on, brother. There are moderators up here.
But my advice, let that be for me alone. Don't interrupt members when they are speaking.
Okay.
Let it be for me and Team Dot alone. But don't interrupt because sometimes it interferes with the podium. Let it go the way Malone was running it before. I respect you, Brother Trabi, but please respect members when they are speaking.
I respect you too, Brother Lion King. My respect to you too. But sometimes we need to abide by the room and also by the topic itself. So I was not disrespecting you. I was just trying to alert you that your time is up because once we say 3 to 5, you're supposed to be aware of your timing. And this is why.
I actually spoke for less than 5 minutes, but it's just an information for you, just an idea that I want to give to
Brother Traffic.
Okay.
Brother Traffic, Dan Kamis is a moderator like you. Both of you can have a free time to talk, my brother.
Okay, good leader, hold on. All the moderators up here cannot talk at the same time. Okay, so allow me to do this. Let's have a respect among ourselves, and sometimes let listen to ourselves too. Okay, if we need really to fix the issue in our own country, that means we need to fix ourselves. And once we listen to our own self and consider the time given, then whatever that's going on in our country, we can handle it. But if we come here and argue about time limit and these small things, then we are also.
Is Comrade Manon is here or is not here? I'm going to move myself down because there was something that I was trying to. If he's not here, I'm going to move myself down.
Manon is up there.
Comrade Manon, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening. Yes.
Okay, there was a specific question that was directed to me, so people don't even know what party that I'm affiliated.
Brother, good leader. There's Manon and Madid, the person who opened the room, and there's Deng Kamis. Be respectful, please. Whatever that you're trying to address, you will be given a chance when your time comes. Yeah, it's good that you move down. Okay.
He may want to leave early. I don't know. Maybe he just want to respond.
Is that okay?
Maybe he just want to respond to that question specific, and then he go down. I think that's what he want. So we can bring him up. Let him answer that question with 1 minute, and then move the line after that. I don't have.
He move himself down. Yeah, bring him up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Manon, no question. I have a question.
Hold on.
Okay, that will be fine.
Hold on.
Yeah, give him to answer the question. Maybe he just want to answer the question.
Yeah, Ustaz Kunjok, I see you flashing. My people, let me say this, okay? You know, sometimes we blame President Kiir, but at the same time, we need to blame ourselves. Why? Because we are not patient. When you are not patient, you will not succeed in anything that you want to do. Let's consider that. Don't come up here in rush, and when you hear something, you want to answer to it right away. If we consider ourselves as educated people, at least write your thing down and ask to be given a chance. Our country is messed because of this kind of behaviors. And we all blame President Kiir for not leading the country in the way we want, when we cannot even lead ourselves. This argument here in Clubhouse, it shows that we are all a fail. Can we at least be responsible people and be patient? Be patient. Brother Tim Dot, if you don't mind, please hold on. Your interjection will come. Molana Good, I know your chance was supposed to be you. Hold on, then Kamis. But then Kamis is before you, and then it starts.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, and then Ustaz Temukun Job is before you too. So then Kamis, if you are ready, take the mic from there, brother.
All right. Thank you, Trav. I'm ready now. My greeting to all the speakers of South Sudan Eagle Media, the brother Madit, Comrade Manon, and you yourself, Travi, the speakers, our audience. I just want to make a very little bit comment here. Yes. Here is what we will do. It's good when you flash your mic, like what I saw, what Kurijok was doing over there, and that's what I did. It will be good. If you open your mic and start talking, then there will be two people talking at the same time. Then from there, it will be disorganized. Number two, at the same time, the moderators are the one that is responsible. If they said 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you expect us to either to pledge our mic that your time is coming to an end, or one of the moderator will open the mic and tell you your time is coming to an end, and that will not be considered as an interruption. That's what I want to make, first of all. Coming back to the topic is very clear, and those who spoke already, including Comrade Manon here, and majority of speakers, they are not up here anymore. They made the same adjustment based on the topic, the question that are being sent out to them, and they gave you the answers. Political bureau in the SPLM is not the same as Cabinet of South Sudan. This is where people mess up some time, and I see that's that what took a lot of time in the room here when I came in listening down there, and till the time I came up here. People are marching away from the SPLM and connect the government with the party. And the government is always those who are working in the cabinet, not even members of the president party. Those who are working in the government as we speak, they are not members of the SPLM. They are regular South Sudanese. Either they have parties or they are just a qualified technician that can do the work based on their qualification. And if we do not understand that, then we are going to have a hard time. By the way, it will be a long run. It's going to take a long time for us. There are some questions that were asked already here, and Manon answered it. That's what I'm going to go on to answer them very briefly based on the topic. The question was asking if the members of the SPLM, are they okay with the system of high ranking from the SPLM Beirut to the Liberation Council? You know, every organization have their own structures. It will change. The SPLM, when it was in the bush, There was no time that people have to come and sit down and conduct election. Only they went through their high ranking from the time they came, and those who were promoted uh, to the high position, high command. That's what happened. And I think I myself, I'm okay with it. If that is still existing at the moment, until when it is okay, because it's a structure of the party at the same time. That nothing is wrong with it. It does not actually hurt the whole country. It only hurt the SPLM members. That those who want to contest for any position, maybe, but it's not about South Sudan in general. If you are in a different party, it's not concern you at all, because there's nothing is going to is not going to hurt nothing based on your party structures. That's what I can say. It's normal, and it's a structure of the organization, so nothing wrong with it. The second one was the dismissal of the members. The SPLM party have the constitution, and that constitution is asking you, if you are not performing your duties, you are being missing your duties when you are holding the high position, like the position of the general secretary, and the list goes. Your membership will automatically suspend itself, but it had to be declared. It had to be cleared out by the regulation of that party of the SPLM. So those who lost their membership, they lost it, and they knew it when those constitutions were written. They are aware of it. There's nothing new that came from somewhere. So they are not being dismissed because of nobody like them. It's because they are not performing their duties, and the party cannot hold back, waiting for you while you are doing your other business somewhere. And so later on, maybe in another 10, 20 years, you decided to come back, then the decision can be made. No, the party have to move forward. That's my answer to the question that was asked. And the name, the concern of the SPLM, the name of the SPLM, it seemed to be a major issue, a major concern from those who hate the SPLM name. There is no one day that we are all of us, the South Sudanese party, that will be registered as South Sudan, South Sudan, South Sudan, South Sudan, Republic of South Sudan. No, it will not happen that way. We were South Sudanese, yes. The SPLM is a revolutionary struggle and a history of the South Sudan. There's nothing wrong with the name. We are still South Sudanese. I don't even understand what letters do you don't really want to be in there. Are you talking about S? You talking about the letter P, the people, or are you talking about letter N, the liberation, or M, the movement? If it is case of being a South Sudanese, we are South Sudanese. As we know, there is nowhere we are running from the name Sudan. If you don't want Sudan, then that claim have to come from the constitution of South Sudan, and South Sudan have to sit down again and review the name, either to change the South Sudan name to different name as the country. Then it will come from there, and there will be no time that the register parties will have the same name that when associated with the country name. So your claim is not legitimate. If you are wasting your time thinking that it will be changed one day, that is not the problem. The problem is who is doing what. That's what I can say about the party name of the SPLM. Those who are actually spending more time don't want to hear the name of the SPLM. So the SPLM is being a bad party. they have done wrong, and so yes, that is the case of judgment. The judgment will come when the election come, and the SPLM is running for the leadership, top leadership of the country. You will make your judgment. But coming out and shout out every day that SPLM should not be there because it's, the name are not they are not suitable anymore. The SPLM has done wrong. It will not help. Just make your judgment when the time comes. When the election come and you don't want to SPLM to rule anymore, just choose the party that you know is going to change the SPLM and become a popular party for you. That's that part of the answer that I can give my comrades, South Sudanese, our citizen. We don't want to waste time for something that is not going to go anywhere. And the parties are coming up. They are still there. Try to be vigilant, and you can join party that you think the name is going to be okay. And don't make a mistake that all of us here, the South Sudanese, every party that is coming as a new party, there will be a member from the SPLM who left the SPLM and joined you in that party. So the SPLM is the ideology, but the people will rotate around, and we are going to vote for the people, not only the ideology.
Ada
Who the
kepada.
hell is this?
Mengadakan.
I'm moving down. I don't know where they come from.
Trump, you allowed me not to ask question for. I did
I'm
talk
not
to
done
Brother
yet.
Manon. I want to ask Brother Manon a question. If that okay, allowed me. If not, then I will stop there, and then I will refrain.
Yeah, Tim Dot, I did not finish. Somebody came up and they started yelling, so that I had to drop that
Sorry,
guy.
good leader. Go ahead. Sorry, good leader.
So
I
yeah,
understand
this is
you. Go ahead.
Denkamis, not good
No,
leader.
it's not me, Tim. That it's not me. It's
This
Denkamis.
is Denkamis. I'm going to
Oh,
wrap up
Denkamis,
in
go ahead. You good.
yeah,
I'm
my
sorry.
last comment.
I'm so. I apologize.
Yeah, my last comment is the legal name should SPLM here the legal register name the political party with other parties. That is no. The message was sent yesterday by the secretary, the acting secretary of information, to Dr. Riek Machar and Pagan Amum themselves. They have to find their own name. That nothing be add in there real SPLM or SPLM IO. That IO have to find something. That's a constitutional and it's right of the SPLM party, because there is nowhere in this world where you can have the two parties register at with the same name in the country. It will never work. That is no. It's going they will choose what to do. They will choose their name, the new name that is going to take effect after this extended government. The IO will be active until 2023. By 2023, when the extended government is expired, then from there it will not be legal anymore. That's my answer to you. And there will be no time or day that we will have two parties with the same name in the country. It will not work. The last remark that I took from my brother, Mark Roy, a feeling that as PLM, you need to allow the other parties to have a freedom. My brother or the South Sudanese that are out there is no way you can have a permission from the other party that they should allow the other parties to have a freedom. SPLM is not a constitution of South Sudan. There is a constitution of South Sudan that allowed the parties to register. When you register, you are not under
Ya Jama,
SPLM.
give me a second. Ban
You are
Pagan Fursa.
under. Yeah, let
Ancho
me
Tamerot.
finish.
Adeta got ten. Kutu wrong. Later got. Koyukura. Eruku etet. Acha godle.
I tell you,
Thank
I'm not
you.
answering
Acha
Kaito,
gam.
but team that.
Acha no you balagi ta gam. La no yue biru tag bay. SPLM de todnum kala biango. Ene ku baloga ta gam la no wat chala god. Achira dedi. Thank you. Kutu ene ko pada kaken. La no wadingo. I will be take talk. Thank you.
Okay.
We speak
So
English,
I'm sorry.
brother. Tom Dot, you know.
I'm sorry taking long. So yeah, the last remark, you cannot take a permission or request from the SPLM. The SPLM is not controlling any party in South Sudan. Any party that legally registered in the country is being controlled by the registry of South Sudan Constitutional Act. So yeah, if there is any political